Welcome guys to a new League of Legends video. Today we're looking at Kassadin in a mid lane. Starting with his abilities, first we have his passive, where Kassadin is perpetually ghosted and takes 15 reduced magic damage. Then we have his Q, that scales with AP, where Kassadin fires an orb of void energy at the targeted enemy, dealing magic damage and interrupting channeled abilities, so he silences. The excess energy forms around Kassadin, granting him a shield that absorbs incoming magic damage for 1.5 seconds. So this ability is really good to block incoming magic damage. With the passive, makes Kassadin a solid AP mid laner against magic damage. After this, we have his W. There's an auto attack reset that scales with AP, its damage port, and the mana and regen of this ability scales with our maximum mana. This ability has a passive and has an active. So, firstly, the passive, every basic attack of Kassadin deals 20 damage plus 10% of your AP as bonus magic damage. So, your auto attack scale with AP basically. Then we have its active, where Kassadin next basic attack gains range and is additional magic damage that restores a portion of your missing mana. Quintupled against champions. So if you W a minion, you'll do more damage, more magic damage on your next auto attack, and you'll restore some mana. If you do this against champions, it will be five times the mana you would regen against a minion. Next we have his E that scales only with AP and also has an passive and an active. Let's start with with the passive of this E. Kassadin draws energy from spells cast in the vicinity, drawing a charge whenever nearby champion, including himself, loses an ability, capping at 6. Upon reaching 6 attacks, Kassadin can use his active. So, basically, Kassadin gains charges whenever you or other champions use abilities. So this is really good against casters, basically. So that's why Kassadin is a solid mid, because mostly every mid laner's ability is like really often. Even assassins use abilities really often. So let's pass to the active of this ability. Kassadin emits a pulse of void energy, dealing magic damage to all enemies in a cone and slowing them for 1 second. So whenever you have the charges and you activate your E, you'll deal damage in the cone, slowing the enemies. Pretty good if you're chasing. Finally, you have his R, which damage scales with AP and your maximum mana. That's why old school Kassadin uses a tier. You can still do it, but you know, his AP ratio is really high, so not needed. So Kassadin blinks to the target location, dealing magic damage to all nearby enemies when he arrives. His subsequent Rift Walk, it's the name of the ability, within 15 seconds doubles its cost and increases its damage, stacking up to 4 times. So you can Rift Walk up to the damage will only get up to 4 Rift Walks. But for real, if you just need to Rift Walk like twice, one to engage, one to go back, maybe 3 maximum, and your mana pool will be really low. That's why you have Ease W to continue the pursuit, so you can recover some mana, and then you have Ease Flow to avoid using a lot of Rift Walks. So here are the masteries for Kassadin. I have this page, but you can change it up a bit. The Resolve tree with the ferocity. I like to take a more safe big page, and also so I can be a little bit tankier early, cause Kassadin is not a great early game champion, but you can take the ferocity if you want to be more aggressive. It's like it's just a little bit reduced damage. If you know how to play, you probably don't need it. if you want to go hardcore, I would recommend going 12 points in the Frosty tree, and I'll just tell you why I have this page. So, first, with the core of the Masteries, the Cunning tree. So, I'd prefer to take the movement speed, because the other is not that interesting, because you deal a bit more damage to minions, like 2 damage. It's stupid. I don't like that item. Okay, if I'm a jungler, even if I'm a jungler, I don't like that item. So I prefer the movement speed out of battle, so I can roam a lot. Because Kassadin is, as you saw in the abilities, if you saw them, he's perpetually ghosted, so he has a lot of movement speed, no minion blocks, so he's pretty fast roaming. And if you rift walk once, oh my god, you're there in a minute, in the blink of an eye. So then we have the second line, the Assassin. It's pretty self-explanatory. The mana regen, always good, always good. If you want, you can take the other. But it's for more bursts, and you deal more damage if they are under 40% health. I prefer the mana regen for the laning phase, because you can out-sustain mana-wise the other laners. So you'll be a really solid pick against any mages, because you block magic damage, you have more and bigger mana pool than them, even early. So then we have in the fourth line, this is obvious because the other are for support really. Regen, health, and mana. Then between armor pen and magic pen, yeah, I think that's only armor pen actually. I can remember, but I prefer the cooldown because cooldown casting is really good. Because as you can with your W regen some mana. It's good if you spam your Ws, because it will be easier to form, and you could really poke the enemy with your Q and have your E, like if they engage you, they are like an assassin, you can slow them easily, and it's less like 2 basic attacks that they can drop on you, and probably a Q, a W and a Q they can drop on them. Then finally, the Thunderlord. It's really easy to proc on Kassadin, so basically Rift, natural trade would be Q, E, W, and Rift Walk back if you don't want to take any damage. The Rift Walk is really unnecessary, or you can engage with your Rift Walk, whatever. Um, it really depends on the matchup. So here's the core of the Masteries. Then the other part. So I take Resolve, as I said, because first line, magic resistant armor, always good, always good. As we are going with Rod of Ages, this is awesome because the Rod of Ages only gives you health, so this will give you the mana and the armor without really building an item for that. So then we have the minion damage, reduce minion damage. I find this mess really useful because in early game, minion damage it's a lot hard, so you can easily poke your opponent and go away with it because the minion damage will be low. That's why it's one of the main things I like in the resolve tree. Then I have the maximum health. You can take the runic armor because it gives you a bigger shield if your magic resist, but it's like the magic resist shield. It's only applied to magic resist. So if you're going against an assassin, your shield will be pretty much useless. So bigger health pool would be great because we'll scale with the bonus magic resist and armor from the first line of this tree. Then we have the reduced cooldown of your summoner spell. So more flashes, more ignites, and you have TP, more TPs is always good. This is a page basically I like to take, but if I'll say now that I'll tell you the first two you take. So you take the okay, of course the AP part of the first two. So um, first line, the right one. Then we have you can take double-edged sword or feast. Double-edged sword I would recommend. Double-edged sword. Then the second one. It's really up to you. If you feel you kind of need a little bit of sustain in the mid lane, take the vampirism, but if one more burst, take the AP dash slash damage mastery. Finally, the last one. This is another part I don't really find this part of tree useful because this one. So the red one gives you more damage if you stun, slow, etc. Them, yeah, of course. Casting is slow, but it's like you have to stack it so it's not insta slow. So that you will hit, you'll always have in a fight. So not that useful. Then the other, okay, so it scales up to. I don't really like it because it scales up to 5%. And if you kill the 5 champions of the opposing team, if you kill them, then you have 1% of damage. What's that? Yeah, it's something. But what's that? You have the Thunder Lord. You have your damage, and you will pretty much stay in lane most of the time until you finish your Rod of Ages, because your wave clear is not awesome. So I would recommend the page I normally use, the Cunning Dash Resolve Tree. After the masteries, we have the runes, so you can change this page a bit. So I take Ivory Pen Reds, Armor Yellows, Match Resist Blues, and Queens of Ability Power. So the marks could take just Magic Pen. It's good. I don't really like to because yeah, physical damage here. Why? Whatever. So I like to take, yeah, I think the Ivory Pen gives you a little bit of AD. So I like to take this thing because it's easier to farm with. As an AP caster, I really like to take Hybrid Pen because it makes farming so easy. Because I'm not a pro. I'm currently silver 2, so I'm not a pro. Okay, so I and form is essential, no doubt of it. So if I can form, and it's Kassadin, it's like an auto attacker, it is even better because you'll hit that attack, so the Iron will be useful. So if you want, you could go flat magic damage, flat magic pen, but I prefer to go hybrid just because of the farming being more easier. Because it's really up to that. If you're in lower division up to like gold something, even platinum probably, mid laners will suck at farming. And a mid laner, even without kills, if he only farms, he gains items and will just wreck the mid game. Just wreck the mid game. I'm telling the truth. That's how I basically uh that was basically happens every game. So this is a page I like to take. Try it first. Urban marks are really expensive. Magic pen, I think, yeah, they are less. Urban are more expensive, but they are worth for me at least. Finally, we reach the build time. So these are the first start with the starting items. So I like to go with Adorned Ring or Adorned Shield. Adorned Shield if we go against a more pokey champion. Uh, as you have Ivory Pen, the damage will be like you can farm, just farm, just farm, just farm, relax, and reach your crystal of your Rod of Ages. Easy. If you if you're more comfortable with the laner you go against, you simply pick Adorned Ring. More damage, more whatever. So probably I run the shield more often if I go against an assassin. Because they just fuck it. Or an Oriana probably. Basically champions with a lot of poke. Basically. So the Thorn is safe against most magic damage users because of the magic resist of Kassadin, but the shield is always good because more health, scales better, scales well, not better, but scales well with magic resist. So let's jump into the core. So first we have our Rod of Age, so you need to rush this thing just really fast. First, I like to go for the crystal. You should go for the crystal. Then you build your cooldown boots. Then you feed your Rod of Age. Just with this, you hit the mid game with a hell of power. Rod of Age was buffed, so it gives you about 100 EP. It's a lot. And if you went Luden's Echo, yeah, you had a lot of EP, a lot of burst, but you had no, not it will not be good. Then your existing lane will be worse and you had no clan reduction. Clan reduction is really useful on any AP limit lane that is Red of Age because it actually it balances things because makes Rodovich really OP. Because Rodovich, when you build it, yeah, he has the low AP damage. It's like 50, yeah, I think 50 AP. But with the cooldown, you can balance it a bit. And as Kassadin, you want to refill a lot. And yes, that's pretty much those two items story. Then we have the we'll continue building our defensive sword because I'm like a pussy mid laner actually. So I like to go for the Zonias because it gives you the AP, and you can go all in and just Zonias and Rift Walk back. Safe, and with a lot of damage. Then we start to be less pussy and go for the Luden's Echo, extra burst, extra mobility, OP on Kassadin. Fine. Then we have the Lich Bane, Maul cooldown, Lich Bane proc, awesome because we have our auto attack reset of our W, really good. And the Shindy proc is just super cool, and movement speed extra. Last item, I have this for the 6 item, these items, but there's some other choices. So firstly, you have the Rabadons, extra more damage, more snowball, etc. Void Staff, penetration, magic penetration, more Elinum Con, cooldown always good, grievous wounds, good against some things. Then we have the Callus, so the Callus more cooldown, magic resist, good. Just then the two choices I didn't put here, but are good actually, but I forgot just to put them there. Guardian Angel is also a good choice, and Abyssal Scepter. They are really don't give you AP, are not like really carry oriented, so that's why another fact why I didn't put them here. Cause with the core you'll do massive damage, and probably how games are now, you'll probably never reach the late game. That is all for today. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.